Hi everyone, welcome to Impact Academy. So today let us continue with SNT. Okay, so science and technology we've seen till 20th question. Okay, in the last class. So today let us continue with the 21st question. So consider the following statements with reference to the Brasilia Declaration. Okay, India is a signatory to the declaration. Yes, it is true. The decade 2021 to 2030 is declared as a decade of action for road safety by United Nations General Assembly. So, see, Brasilia Declaration on Road Safety. Okay, what is Brasilia Declaration on Road Safety? 2015 is a declaration that was signed at the second Global High Level Conference on Road Safety held in Brazil. Okay, try to remember what it is. Okay, it is about road safety and second Global High Level Conference held in Brazil. India is a signatory to the declaration. The global plan aligns with the Stockholm Declaration also by emphasizing the importance of holistic approach to road safety. So the Stockholm Declaration and Brasilia Declaration are related to road safety and 2015. So the decade of 2011 to 20 is declared as a decade of action for road safety by UN General Assembly. Okay, UN General Assembly adopted the resolution improving global road safety with the ambitious target of preventing at least 50% of road traffic deaths and injuries by 2030. Okay, so it is not 2021 to 2030, it is 2011 to 2020. So option A, okay, only one is the right option. So consider the following statements regarding the science, technology, and innovation policy of India. So the Scientific Policy Resolution of 1958 is the first major science policy of India post independence, okay, which is true. The decade of 2010 to 2020 has been declared as the decade of innovation, okay, so that is also true. When the science technology STI 2013 has come, okay, it is the decade of 2010 to 2020 has been declared as a decade of innovation, okay. So STIP 2022 is the latest major policy on science and technology in India. So we look into that. The focus of the latest STI policy is on self-reliance and indigenization of technology. So this is true because recently, if you see, everything we are trying to indigenize, okay, make it in India itself, make in India, all these things. So even important defense technology, all kinds of technology, we are trying to make it in India. So definitely, the focus of the latest policy is definitely on self-reliance and indigenization. So that much is for sure. So, so Science and Technology and Innovation Policy, Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. Okay, and the Department of Science and Technology jointly initiated a decentralized bottoms-up, okay, inclusive process for formulation of the Science and Technology and Innovation Policy of 2020. So, so if you see the evaluation of science and technology innovation policies, the first one is 1958. Okay, first policy is 1958, scientific policy resolution, and next is 1983. Here, scientific temper and capacity building. In 1983, technology policy statement. Okay, first it was scientific policy resolution 1958, and then again after in 1983 you have technology policy statement. And technological competence and self-reliance is the motto here. Next, 2003, you have science and technology policy. Okay, increased investment in R&D. So at that time, we are looking at increased investment in R&D. So 2013 is I think everyone is aware, right? Science, technology, and innovation policy, 2013. So this 2013 policy mentions about, okay, this 2013 policy mentions about, okay, decade of 2010 to 20 was declared as a decade of innovation in 2013. Okay, so 1958 is the first one, and India's first major science policy can be traced back to 1958. and it laid the foundation for scientific enterprise and scientific temper. So it is just the beginning. Then in 1983, it was mostly self-reliance. Okay, self-reliance and development of indigenous technologies. Adoption of indigenous technology would reduce vulnerabilities in critical areas. So self-reliance and indigenous technology is there. Next, science and technology policy of 2003 to keep we saw more investment in R&D. Okay, to increase the investment to 2% of GDP. So by the time first initiation is over, then what you say self-reliance is there. Next, it was to increase the investment of in R&D by 2%. Then came the STA policy of 2013. In 2013, it declared 2010 to 20 as a decade of innovation, and it tried to stay globally competitive to make transition into knowledge-based economy, etc., etc. Okay, so now, the latest science and technology innovation policy is 2020. Okay, the fifth S&T policy of India is being formulated at a crucial juncture. India is facing COVID-19, etc. So, because 2020 COVID was there, and it has four highly interlinked tracks. So, track one involves extensive public and expert consultation process. Track two comprises of experts-driven thematic consultations. Okay, 21 focused thematic groups were there. Track 3 involves consultations with ministries and states. And track 4 is apex level multi stakeholder consultation. So, different, all scientific people, okay, political, everyone has been taken on board. And it will also, what you say, integrate the lessons of COVID-19, including building Atmanirbhar Bharat, so self reliance. Okay, self-reliance by leveraging R&D, design, etc., and demographic dividend because we have a huge population of a young dynamic workforce, etc. Okay, so self-reliance is a big part of the latest STA policy, which is 2020. So we have seen the four major policies, and the current is the fifth major policy. Okay, 2020. And so if you look at the 2020 latest policy, it talks about Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is basically self-reliance, and India should become top three. See, in 2013, India wanted to be top five. Okay, so by 2020, now we want to be top three. And human capital, we want to attract, nurture, and strengthen the human capital. Investment to double the number of full-time equivalent researchers. GDP. Okay, so in uh, 2003, we had a target of 2% of GDP. Okay, R&D. So here also we're trying to invest. So whatever is there in the previous policies, everything is there in 2020 combined. Okay. So everything to make it globally, to make our institutions, our science and technology research globally competitive. So what are the key features of the draft? So by way of its decentralized bottoms-up inclusive process, it aims to re-strategize priorities, sectoral focus, etc., etc. All this stuff. So STPA observatory and centralized database. Okay, there is going to be a national observatory and a centralized database so that everyone can work from everywhere. And there is going to be open science framework. Okay, dedicated portal will be there. What is that portal? Insta, Indian Science and Technology Archive of Research. And there is going to be education. Okay, science and technology education. So using these learning centers, etc., etc., interdisciplinary research will be there. Higher education research centers will be there, and increasing investments. Okay, boosting fiscal incentives. STI development bank will be set up, and each state will have to earmark a certain percentage. Okay, so basically holistic approach, translational research and promotion of innovation. Okay, to integrate traditional knowledge systems also. That means our Ayurveda, etc., etc. Also, to we have the Ayush Ministry, etc. Right. So regarding intellectual property right, higher education institutions, etc. And technology, self-reliance and indigenization. This is very important. Okay, we are also expecting for self-reliance and indigenization, which we have seen in 1983 majorly. Now it is there again. Inclusivity as an integral part. So we are going to include LGBT community, differently abled people, okay, minorities, women, everyone. And there is going to be international engagement. Okay, and see, S&T for diplomacy and diplomacy for S&T. So we are going to engage with Indian scientific diaspora also, and STA policy institute. Okay, and STA policy institute will also be established. So this is exhaustive what is say features of the latest STAP 2020. Now let us go back to the question with this knowledge. The scientific policy resolution of 1958 is the first major science policy of India post independence, which is true. Okay, 1958 is the first, 1983 second. Okay, 1983 talked about self-reliance and indigenization, and the next we have 2003 that talked about increase in R&D to 2%, and then we have 2013. Okay, 2013, which said that the decade of 2010-20 has been declared as the decade of innovation. Fine, so that is also true. The STIP policy of 2022. No, it is not 2022. It is 2020. Okay, the STIP latest policy is 2020, not 2022. Is the latest major policy? It is wrong. The focus of the latest STI policy is on self-reliance and indigenization of technology, which is true, right? Okay, it has a focus on several things, increasing R&D, okay, international engagement, bringing the diaspora, all those things. But self-reliance and indigenization is also there. So option is B. 1, 2, and 4 are the correct options. So let's go to the next question. Consider the following military exercises: Veer Guardian, Ekuverin, and Mitra Shakti. So exercise Veer Guardian 23 will be the first ever bilateral combat air exercise between India and Japan. So remember this air exercise, not just what you say. I mean, it is between India and Japan. That is one thing you have to remember. Also, you have to remember whether it is three forces or two forces or only air force. Okay, all those things also you have to. So Veer Guardian is between India and Japan, right? India and Japan. Dharma Guardian, I think, is between India and Mongolia. So Veer Guardian means India and Japan air exercise. And Ekuverin is the joint military exercise ex Ekuverin between the Indian Army and the Maldives. Maldives, okay. So right now we have some trouble with Maldives, right? President Muizu's party has again won the national election. So he's more close to China than India. Anyway, remember ex Ekuverin. Okay. Okay. Maybe that's why it is written as X. Maybe it is not being carried on. Okay. Now, Mitra Shakti. Mitra Shakti is a joint military exercise between Indian Army and the Sri Lankan Army. It is based on counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations in semi-urban terrain and is the largest bilateral exercise between Sri Lanka and India. So, India and Bangladesh is not Mitra Shakti. Mitra Shakti is India and Sri Lanka. Ekuverin is India and Maldives. Veer Guardian is India and Japan. And specifically India and Japan Air Force. Okay, that is also important. So two are matching, right? So answer B is the right option. Next, India had developed satellites for which of the following technologies? Communication, remote sensing, deep ocean missions, topography mapping, and weather forecasting. So if you look at space technology in India, okay, Indian space technology has seen significant growth, etc. Indian Space Research Organization, okay, all this we know. So as of March 2021, ISRO has conducted a total of 82 spacecraft launches. Fine. And ISRO has developed range of satellites including communication, remote sensing, navigation, weather forecasting. Okay, so communication, remote sensing, deep ocean missions, ocean sat is there. Okay, topography mapping, weather forecasting, everything is there. And we have IRNSS, which provides positioning, also global positioning, navigation, timing services. Okay, neighboring countries also it will provide. Okay, and commercialization also we are actively working on commercialization. So we have this new space, okay, and the antrix, etc. All those things. It can help in agriculture, forestry, disaster management. 2020 ISRO launched first dedicated commercial satellite carrying 19 satellites for the US and other countries. So if you look at the budget for ISRO has steadily increased. Okay, now in 2021 budget for ISRO increased from 13 increased to 13,000 crore. Okay, so almost you can say near to $2 billion. Okay, Uh, so try to remember roughly. And international collaborations. ISRO has collaborated with several international space agencies like NASA, ESA, Roscosmos. Okay, we ISRO and NASA collaborated on the Mars orbiter mission and the Chandrayaan 1 also. So, Indian space program has led to development of several spin-off technologies that have application in various other industries also. For example, ISRO's lithium-ion battery technology is being used in electric vehicles. Okay, and also ISRO's what is it is re-entry into the atmosphere. Okay, so this rocket will have to go out of the atmosphere and come back, right? So that is being used in the missile technology of DRD also. So the missile can enter out of the atmosphere and again enter the Earth and strike long range distances. Okay, so if you look at the applications of space technology, so communication. So for communication, we have this Indian INSAT, okay, Indian National Satellite System. So this provides communication facilities for television, broadcasting, telemedicine, disaster management, okay, GSAT series. So remote sensing, for example, HISIS satellites, okay. This remote sensing is basically Earth observation satellite. They provide high resolution images, okay. They can be used for mapping, resource management, environmental monitoring, etc. That is remote sensing. Navigation is IRNSS, similar to GPS. Okay, GPS is American made, right? So we have our own GPS type of thing. It is IRNSS. Weather forecasting is there. Okay, weather forecasting, disaster management, agriculture like Kisan Sat. Okay, and disaster management, you can say National Remote Sensing Center. Example, data released on Jyotimath sinking by ISRO. So ISRO played an important role in gathering data about the Joshimath issue. Okay, and a defense example, research satellites. Okay, it can be used for surveillance, reconnaissance, communication, etc. So India has developed satellites for all these things: communication, remote sensing, deep ocean missions, topography, weather forecasting, everything. Fine. So consider the following statements regarding emerging technologies in India. India's target is to expand its economy to USD 7 billion by 2030. So it is true. Okay. So we are having a target to expand the economy to USD 7 billion dollar by 2030. 7 billion dollars. Fine. Okay. 7 billion. I think so. 7 billion is obviously wrong, right? Because billion is very less. India itself is having more than 3 trillion, right? So let us. I think this is wrong. In the budget 2024-2025, government has announced a 1 lakh crore for the long-term funding of R&D. So already we are saying, right, in the latest STI policy, government is trying to increase the R&D amount. So let us first see and then come back to the question. So India targets to expand its economy to USD 7 trillion by 2030. So already, in how much is India having? India is currently around uh, 1.3 it was previously. Now it would have reached something around 2 or 3 trillion. So we had reaching 5 trillion. Okay, by some time back we had this before the COVID. Okay, we have a target of reaching 5 trillion, right? So now the latest target is to reach 7 trillion. Okay, by 2030, and we are majorly trying to use technology to achieve this target. So in the budget of 24-25, government has announced 1 lakh crore for long-term funding of R&D, including deep defense technology. And these technologies, quantum technology, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, clean energy, green hydrogen, and bioeconomy, etc. So if you look at the semiconductor market, semiconductor is very important for us because all these mobiles, all computers, everything semiconductors are very important. So in 2022, India's semiconductor market was around $27 billion, with over 90% being imported. So this is a huge burden. 90% is being imported, majorly from China, Taiwan, USA, Japan, etc. Okay, China and Taiwan major. So 90% of our semiconductor requirement we are importing. So which will have a huge cost on the forex reserves. So the Indian semiconductor market is expected to reach $55 billion by 2026. Now we have $27 billion. It will reach $55 billion by 2026. Okay, with its own consumption expected to cross 80 billion by 2026. Okay, and by 2030 it is going to be 110 billion also. So 27 it is going to by 2030 is going to become 110 also. So, various government initiatives for emerging and critical technologies. Okay, so these are some of the latest initiatives by the government. One is IDEX. So, IDEX, which is launched in 2018, is an ecosystem to foster innovation and technology development in defense, aerospace, etc. And ISET. ISET was launched in India and in India and the US in 2022, and is being run by the National Security Council. We've already seen a question in the beginning on ISET, right? So it is run by the National Security Councils of India and the US. Under ISET, both countries have identified areas of cooperation and co-production also would gradually expand it to Quad and then NATO, followed by Europe and rest of the world. So ISET, IDEX, so National Quantum Mission. It will be implemented by the Department of Science and Technology under Ministry of Science and Technology. The mission planned for 23-31. Okay. It aids to seed, nurture, scale up scientific and system in quantum technology. Okay, India is the seventh country to have a dedicated quantum mission after US, Austria, Finland, France, Canada, and China. Okay, so six countries already have this quantum mission. Now India is also joining. So Japan is not there. Okay, observe this. Many even many top countries are not there. We are there. Okay. China usually will be there. Russia is not there. Usually Russia will be there. US will be there. China will be there. So in this case, remember Russia is not there. Okay, Japan is not there. France is there. UK is not there. Austria, Finland, France, Canada. Okay, try to remember which are not there also, so that if such a question is asked, it will be easy for you. And artificial intelligence mission, AI mission, and other initiatives related to So, India, India AI, and the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, US India Artificial Intelligence Initiative, Responsible Artificial Intelligence for Youth, Assimilated Platform, Artificial Intelligence Research, Analytics, and Knowledge. So, India Semiconductor Mission is also there. It was launched in 2021 with a total outlay of 76,000 crore under Ministry of Electronics and IT. Okay, semiconductor mission is also very important. Okay, this is all common. So, National Green Hydrogen Mission is also one of the critical emerging mission. It is a program to incentivize commercial production of green hydrogen, and we want to become a net exporter of the fuel. It will facilitate demand creation, production, utilization, etc. And this is important. Okay, the objective is to produce green hydrogen of at least 5 MMT, 5 million metric tons. Okay, and adding renewable energy capacity of 125 gigawatts by 2030. So this is very important. 5 million metric tons and adding 125 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2030. Also, it aims to enter over 8 lakh crore of investment and expected to generate 6 lakh jobs also. Very important. It will also lead to cumulative reduction of fossil fuel imports by 1 lakh crore. Okay, 1 lakh crore of fossil fuel imports we are reducing, and nearly 50 metric tons of annual greenhouse gas emissions will be reduced because of this national green hydrogen mission. So, national mission on bioeconomy. Okay, this is under the Science and Technology Ministry 2016. Okay, and Anusandhan National Research Foundation. Okay, it was established with the Anusandhan National Research Established Act of 2023. So it is quite recent. To seed and grow, promote R&D in colleges, institutions, etc. That's why it is called Anusandhan. Basically, a type of joining. So it acts as the apex body to provide high-level strategic direction for the national education policy also. So this is very recent. Okay, Anusandhan National Research Foundation. The Science and Engineering Research Board is established in 2018. This has been subsumed into the JNR. Okay, Try to remember this. Anusandhan National Research Foundation. Okay, all this is common. So we have seen a lot of information. Let's see the question. So India's target is to expand its economy to USD 7 billion. Okay, not billion. 7 billion is very low. Okay, 7 trillion. So we had a target of 5 trillion. Now it became 7 trillion by 2030. In the budget 24, in the budget 24-25. Okay, the government has announced 1 lakh crore for long term R&D. Okay, 1 lakh crore for long term R&D. That is correct. India imports more than 50% of its needs in the semiconductor industry. So we have just seen that we are importing more than 90%. Okay, we are all importing more than 90% of the semiconductor industry needs from China, Taiwan, US, Japan. So it is not 50. Okay, it is 90%. India has a dedicated quantum mission implemented by the Department of Science and Technology. So which is true. We have seen India has a dedicated national quantum mission by Department of Science and Technology. US, Austria, Finland, France, Canada, and China are the other countries. India is the seventh country. So the India Semiconductor Mission launched in 2021 with a total outlay of 76,000 crore under the Ministry of Electronics and IT. So that is also true, right? So which of the above statements are incorrect? Is asking which is not correct. So one is not correct. This 7 trillion and this 3 is 90%. So 1 and 3. So option A is the right answer. Okay. So let us complete with this question for today. Okay. With reference to the VSHORAD missile system, under the following, consider the following statements. It is a man-portable air defense system. Okay. It is a man-portable air defense system. So you can carry it. One man can carry it on his shoulder, and that's why it is called as man pads. Okay, man-portable air defense system. It is propelled by dual thrust rocket motor. So that is also correct. So VSHORAD stands for Very Short Range Air Defense System. So the basically one man can carry it, and for very short range purpose he can use it. It is a VSHORAD. It's a man-portable air defense system. It is designed for anti-aircraft warfare and neutralizing low altitude aerial threats. So if there is any helicopter or jet flying at a very low range or any drone, then this VSHORAD can be used. VSHORAD is designed and developed indigenously by DRDO Research Center, Emarat, Hyderabad. Okay, so it is indigenously developed. Remember that. In collaboration with other DRDO laboratories, etc. The missile is propelled by a dual thrust rocket motor. Okay, VSHORAD missile incorporates a miniaturized reaction control system to increase mid-air maneuverability and integrated avionics. So once you shoot the missile, it can be controlled mid-air also. You can change direction, increase speed, etc. Okay, so that is about VSHORADs. So it's a man-portable air defense system, and it is propelled by dual thrust. Okay, there is dual thrust. So let us stop for today. We'll continue in the next session.